That spoon, that spoon, that spoonful. That spoon, that spoonful. Some of them lies about it. Spoonful. Some of them brags about it. That spoon, that spoon, that spoonful. Hello, this is Springfield Johnny with another episode of the Artful Stalker. Yay! So, you know, there's the Game of Thrones, which is based upon the War of the Roses. I'm quite familiar with that for many years, of course, you know. And then there's this, the Artful, Destructive Shiva Rena show. You know, see what she didn't realize, and her unnamed co-conspirator, compatriot in art crime, you know, is I get the last word. I get the last word. They can, tear up these letters, destroy the birth of Venus, my voice, and Anya's music. They can do all that, and then they have to rebuild the letter. There's evidence against me. Sure. See, my friend Ed Fadley, he was a state senator and a Superior Court judge. And he's the one I was telling about the crazy ass shit that was going on around my sister and her death, and the cult of the women, the Rosemont woman cult that started the Gowrie gargoyles. And he listened to this. This is the guy that was on the Superior Court or Supreme Court of Oregon or something like that, and but it's one of the leading Democrats, state senator. And, he sat there and he's heard a lot of shit in his life. I'm telling him this back, 10 years ago, in 2000 or something like that. And maybe a little later. He listened. He looks like Colonel Sanders. Marilyn's family now, her ex-husband and 2 children involved in this training that Ed and his wife Daria do. And I went to one of their previews of this, and they want me to join. It's Est Reborn, and they're taking all these lessons from the Fadleys. They're the ones that bought the copyright for the S training, and they're doing this all down the West Coast. So, what am I saying? Well, I get the last word. So, and Rena is going to realize that. She's looking at this tape. Maybe she's not that smart, but I'm telling you, Rena, I get the last word. Whether it's in a book, a movie, or form, or tapes, or a documentary, or a reality show. You've had your day. You and your anonymous friend have had your day. See, because if you come at me, Ed is looking for his great legal battle at the end of his life. I'll just give him a ring, and we'll take this to the Supreme Court. Okay? And plus we got the history in Montana. My grandfather, who said his father worked in a business with Gary Cooper's father. It's that whole thing of high noon and our toe coming on the train. Gary Cooper. Well, Gary Cooper's father knew my grandfather in Montana. And then there's the Spalding family who knew the Ness Pierce, and then Chief Josephs went off the renovation, and he went right through Bozeman on his way to Canada. They got trails that go right through Bozeman. So this is real history. What you and your anonymous friend did up there with my letter and the Birth of Venus, which was a work of art, is history. It's real history. It's just not the end of it. You don't get to destroy this and say, we got him, he's done for. We disappeared his stuff, wiped them out. I mean, this is right out of what people are watching. The Game of Thrones. This is, they're kind of treat. The letters that, coming to the king to usurp the kingdom, and the Celtic witchy type of women intercept the letters, and they diddle with the things, and by some magic they recreate them, and they take them to the constable, the sheriff. They had sheriffs back then. And this is all a usurpation, thing of the king. They want to destroy the king. That's what makes Western civilization turn around and round. So, I'm going to talk about, we talked about me losing my virginity. Good, I'm glad that's in the can. It was quite an experience to die, to come back, and be in such a devastating place, where everything's gone, and LSD, illusion, all that. And also to start paying again, stand before the empty canvas. And from this empty canvas, I tracked a beautiful, fair maiden. Well, she wasn't a maiden, but she was sure beautiful with her blonde hair and beautiful body. And she took away my virginity. So what we're going to talk about, and this is scary for me. See how nervous I am? What's coming next? What is he going to reveal now? Well, I'm going to reveal probably the greatest encounter, sexual encounter I think I've ever had with the opposite sex. And that's the first kiss that Rena and I shared. And it's never left me. It can't. It's branded into my very being, my mind, my soul. And too bad, Rena. I get to talk about this, write about this kiss, and talk about it now through a camera, And the only question that remains is whether I'm going to take off all my clothes and do this. See, I wish I had Bob's number. My mentor and my patron of the arts. I call him up. Bob, hey, it's Springfield Johnny here. Hey, listen. I was attacked by my muse a couple weeks ago. She called the sheriff on me. Oh yeah, you know that. When you were running around naked, you got arrested on Muir Beach by the sheriff, right? They took you to jail. Right. Totally naked. Right, you're in jail, with all these, punks and criminals, there you are, naked, the mastermind of the old hippie thing, right? And then it happened again, right? You're running down Market Street, naked, okay. Hey, so you're my man. I want to talk to you about the idea of me doing this documentary totally naked before this empty can. What? Oh, you like that idea? Yeah? Really? You think that I don't know. That might be going too far. So you guys ought to masturbate in front of my canvas and throw my jism onto it? Oh, Bob, you're too much, Generation love. I'll just put my jism all over that canvas, huh? Okay. And you give me $1,000 if I do that. You'll pay for that pay. All right, buddy. Okay, thanks. See you around. All right. I'm taking off all my clothes. Bob gave me permission, see? See, they can't stop me, see? There's Dan, the sheriff, Rena, the unknown person, and the Aryan Brotherhood, the white supremacists. They're all waiting for me to take off my clothes and masturbate in front of the camera and, put my jism all over this empty canvas back here. Because that's the evidence they've been waiting for 44 years, And I'm just a crazy, whacked out, hippie, acid freak artist. You people are out of your fucking mind. It's you guys, with your judgments and your permission from the killer Jesus, the rapture, to go around and judging people. It's not a secret that I'm a crazy-ass motherfucker, hippie, artist. It's no secret. I've been hiding, cloaking, running around, stalking, an invisible person, peeping Tom. I'm not that. I've been pretty vocal. This is what the sheriff, Dan Malin, couldn't understand, because they've talked about my blog, and he says he's looked at it. And he knows stalkers don't want any publicity, or even people know they exist. They're like Rena. Rena's the stalker. They hide away, loners, No one knows who they are, what their last name is. They invent this facade, as husbands that don't exist, This whole thing. That's the stalker. See, Rena, resembles the stalker a lot more than me. So Dan's looking at my posts and, all this crazy shit. Yeah, there he is laying into the evangelicals, saying John Darby's the Antichrist. And, nothing new here, nothing concealed. There's no disguise, So maybe I ought to take off my clothes. You want to see if I got a real heart here, like Jesus, There it is. No red heart with thorns around it, barbed wire. I'm not wearing any barbed wire. I'm not a member of Opus Dei, I might be the Pride of Zion, just by process of elimination. You're it. So I'm going to read, after I talk about this kiss from Rena, I exchange, I'll read my letter to her, which is a famous letter now. So, we come to Pismo Beach. Brian's driving me and Rena, his daughter, back up to Oakland. And Julie's about 10 years old, or less, maybe about 8 years old. And Julie's part of the group. She's the extended family from Rosemary. Rosemary and Julie had this famous relationship. Rosemary was just absolutely taken with Julie, which was Keith's niece and Brian's daughter. She had the red hair, and she was Dagmar's daughter. Dagmar was the queen of LSD on Telegraph Avenue. People were doing LSD 3 shifts. And Crutch Joe the Fish lived across the street. We used to go to their parties with him, smoke dope. And so we pulled into Pismo Beach, and I confronted Rena about her being afraid of the ocean. And she's in the back with Julie, and me and Brian up front. And it's been about 2 hours drive from Santa Barbara to Pismo Beach. You could drive on the beach. And I don't know, the sun's, maybe a hand, it's beginning its descent. We get out of the car, and Rena gets out of the car, and she's got a halter top with cutoffs. And she undoes the knot, takes that off, and then she drops her cut-up blue jeans, and there she is in her bikini. And it's the first time I've seen this. And it's just a stunning, beautiful body, perfect proportions. And, I've never seen, and I've seen a lot of beautiful women in Playboy. I've looked at a lot of Playboys when I was younger, and since I've seen Rena's body, nothing comes close to the perfect proportions. And everything was just exactly how it should be. She's nearly, I think she's about 5'11". And this suit she was wearing, it wasn't tight, it was loose. And that was the key, to the whole beauty of this. And it wasn't a sexual turn on as much as it was a beauty. It's pure beauty. Because the suit hung on her loosely as if it could be taken off. You know, a lot of nudes are painted with some kind of drapery on them. You know, there's Jesus up there on the cross with his loincloth and stuff. The artists have really gone to great lengths to paint Jesus's white, you know, diaper, whatever that is, you know. And boy, she's got it. She's got that, you know. It's that you just, the cloth is removed, you know, the top's removed, and there's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Venus de Milo coming out of the ocean. And see, this is the last word. You know, this 60-year-old woman who she is now, this freak, paranoic, or whatever, you know, witch, or what, you know, whatever, redneck, or whatever, she can't take that image away from me. She doesn't have a right. She'd tear up. And I'll send her, like, you know, I can't send her anything, you know, but she can take this videotape and, you know, put it on a disc, and then she can burn that, have more rituals. She can have 100 rituals with my stuff. She can do anything with my writings that's on the internet and these films. She can do anything you want. It's not going to hurt me because I get the last word. So, and Brian's just like, and you know, and he's been with some beautiful women. He's just both mesmerized. Just, we're right there. This beautiful creature has been riding in this car with us for 4 hours. And here she is, you know, and takes Julie's hand and starts walking towards the water with her. And Julie is saying, I'm scared of the water, I'm scared, you know. And Rena's, you know, and there's me and Brian watching her. This beautiful form, beautiful derriere, the muscle tone. And a thoroughbred. This is a thoroughbred body. And she had the face and the hair to go with it. But this is the piece of the resistance. See, this is the painting I should really be doing, rather than duplicating the one I did 44 years ago. This is the painting that I'll never forget. So their feet touch the water, and Julie's just screaming, I know, and Rena's trying to pull her in a little bit more. She says, no, I'm afraid, you know. And all of a sudden, Rena just reaches down, picks her up in her arms. Whew, I could cry. And, you know, this is the Piata. This is the not the Virgin Mary. This is the Mother Goddess. This is Rhea. This is all of it. Athena. This, you know, who swept this beautiful, terrified child. And said, no one could ever get near the water. And Rena starts walking with Julie into the waves. And you could just see her face looking up at Rena, this beautiful face as she's looking down, you know. They walked in waist deep in the water, and the waves came and splashed over them, and there's Julie squealing with delight. This is the best thing that's ever happened to her. This beautiful goddess that, you know, that got in the car with her, sat with her 40 hours, has just helped her overcome her fear of the water, the ocean. And before she swooped Julie off her feet, she said, I'm afraid of the ocean too. Let's overcome our fear together. And they started walking. Rita and her unknown friend, the sheriff, you can get 10,000 sheriffs heading here in squad cars, FBI. See, you can't take that away from me. You can't take that beautiful, beautiful artistic vision. It's mine. I own it. And I can do anything I want to with it. I just can't put it in an envelope and send it to Rena or call her up on the phone. No contact. So this is the last word. Not only do I get the last word, I get the last image. So, I mean, this is art you don't get to. The Supreme Court will back me up. I'll just call it Ed Fadley. Say, Ed, they're trying to destroy my work of art here, my vision, might destroy my documentary. I want to do an art piece naked, masturbating over my canvas. Oh, John, this is just the case I want to take to the Supreme Court. Go ahead, whack off. Beat off all you want, And then there's my artist friends in New York, and, they'll back me up, and this will become a whole movement, see? But, but I don't want to beat off. I don't want to do, anything to, I do anything I want to, see? And that's what Rena should have said. Well, what does he mean? What is he up to? What is he trying to do with me? All she had to do is write me a letter, or get my phone number and say, I puzzled over your letter, John. What the hell? Are you trying to have anal sex with me or what, And, we'll look at the letter and see if you. So if anybody's going to be arrested for any sexual behavior, it's Rena's kiss. She should be put in a lead-lined box, buried to a tomb, before she, gets to anybody else and gives them this kiss, because it was otherworldly. I mean, it was the kiss that every artist, writer, playwright, Shakespeare, if he was here right now, he'd say, come on, John, get to the kiss, get to the, don't beat around the bush, this is it, So, dropped Julie off at his mother's, and Brian lives in this little studio. And I used to live right across the hall, but I gave up my room to this married couple that just had a baby. The landlord was good friends. He says, John, really, my friend, his wife had a baby. They really need a place to live. Would you give up your apartment? I said, okay, Harry, I'll do it. So I didn't have any place to live. So I didn't have my apartment to bring Rena into Make Beautiful Love, because that's what was coming. The energy was just there. Well, I hoped it was there. I didn't know for sure. And so Brian put some blankets down on the floor for us. And there's Rena's pile of blankets, and there's my pile of blankets. And it's a small studio. Brian's up in the bed about, 6 feet away, and we're kind of, me and Rena are split apart, maybe 5 feet. There wasn't much of room. And Brian paints over his windows. He has to have complete darkness when he sleeps. So when he turned off that light, there's total darkness. You couldn't see your hand, in your front of your face. Literally, you could not. And there we are, 3 people in this tiny little studio apartment room, and there's Rena, she's 4 feet from me or something, And I could just feel her. The energy is pouring off her. And I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. The tension is just too much. And I do one of these turning over gestures, and I reach out my hand hoping that her hand will be there. If it's not, that's it. Live to fight another day, huh? And I turn over, and my hand comes, and it lands right on top of hers like this. The fingers lock like this. And there's just the energy, the power, like, the Sistine Chapel, God and Adam. Her hand, I mean, just the hand doing this. Best sex I ever had. Best sex, just to feel that hand in the darkness. It's so primordial. This is the birth of Adam and Eve right here. Just the touch let there be light, huh? And there was light. I mean, you could just feel the sparks, you know. And I'm just feeling this beautiful hand, this beautiful energy. She's, you know, we're just speaking all these messages to each other with this hand, you know. And I come over her, you know, I find her face, and I come and give her a deep kiss, you know. And it's very, very, very sexual, very powerful, the messages that are going on. And, yeah, it's very receptive to me. And so I get on top of her, you know, and we're both closed, and I'm, you know, rubbing my erection against her mounded Venus, as we're just, this kiss, this bodies, this warmth, the heat that came on us, it was just, you know, all of a sudden, she flips me on my back. She just, you know, flips me on my back. She pins my arms back, takes my wrist and just pins, you know, and I can't see her. You know, she can't see me. And she's got me down, and then her legs wrapped around my calves. Her foot came over and locked my calves. I mean, my heart just went, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, and she's got me. She's pinned me to the floor. Brian's little studio apartment, there he is right there. And I know he's feeling this energy, you know. Nobody, you know, 100 yards from the screen, you know, weren't feeling this. You know, and then the way she entwined her legs, I mean, it was just something else. And, you know, of course I understood that she'd done this before. She was practiced at this. She had wanted the upper hand, you know. You know, she didn't want to feel powerless under me, on top of her. Okay, what is that telling you? And she came for her kiss on her terms. You know, I could feel her body, the face, you know, her lips forcing my lips open, her tongue going into my mouth, you know. And it's a total flip-flop reversal of what I was doing to her. It's the yin and yang thing. And she's going to be doing the exploration. She's the one that's going to control everything. She's the one that's going to grind her mounded Venus, you know, against my erection. She, you know, she's in control. You know, there I am. I mean, you know, totally helpless. You know, and she's just, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, I just surrendered. I just, again, this is like ego death, right? This is the whole thing, the angel, the beach, and, you know, the beautiful woman angel, you know, being taken onto the other side, you know, into the heaven, into the kingdom of truth. Well, this is the, you know, the sexual kingdom of truth that's going on between two people, the opposite sex. It doesn't get any more spiritual, cosmic than this. I mean, this is a spiritual experience, and it's going to get better, folks, because I so desperately wanted to see her, and all of a sudden, I saw her skeleton, the complete skeleton, and it was just the pure white bone of her, the beautiful bones. I could see the beautiful bones in her knees. I just looked at her and the beautiful skull that was kissing me. And it had a iridescent blue glow to it, you know. And literally, death, beautiful death, has me pinned once again. And it's making love to me. It loves me.